Hi, this is James from GPX, and I just thought I'd show you the 2023 GPX 250E. This is the Bastille of simplicity, and it's just a wonderful, simple, do anything bike, which is great for people who don't want anything complicated, but they want a really fun, easy to maintain, and good performance bike. It shares exactly the same chassis as all the other bikes within the GPX range. There are some subtle differences, like the footrests on this are steel, where on the other bikes they're actually alloy, and also I think the rims are slightly different as well. But you know, this is all sort of fine detail really. But what we've got here is a 250cc air-cooled engine with electric start. It's got a carburettor on it, a 28mm carburettor, and hundreds and hundreds of these have been sold out in the States, and people just absolutely adore them. People use them on motocross tracks doing double jumps. Yep, you heard me right. And they also use them for trail riding and long distance events and stuff like that. So you've got long service intervals on this bike. You've got oil changes, which, you know, are not every 10 hours. You just change the oil, rather like in the same ethos as you would have done on an XR or an XL 250, XL 350. This is the sort of bike that we're talking about, but this is a modern version of that bike, and I think it's just absolutely superb for people who just want a simple, straightforward bike that's really great value. This is $4,950, and it's just great value for money. You've got a stainless steel exhaust going the way through to the silencer, which has got the GPX embossed on it. Last year it was a sticker which tended to get a bit blistered, so this is definitely an improvement. Decent rear brake on it. The pads are easily available. We've got the pads. They're quality sintered units and they last a long time. Alloy rims, alloy hub, stainless steel spokes, rear disc obviously, and then you've got a fully adjustable rear suspension with high and you've got compression, and you've also got high speed damping compression on the top, spring preload as you can see, and on the bottom you've got rebound adjustment. Now this particular bike has actually been placed on the lower shock setting, okay, because that's what the owner wants to do. And you can see they come standard with that bolt hole in there, and by him actually moving the bolt from there into there, it reduces the seat height by 40 millimeters, and at no extra cost. I mean, you don't have to buy a lowering link, you don't have to mess around, you just literally, that's a 13 mil bolt, whip it out, change the hole, it lowers it down. And what the owner's done up here as well is actually, because this isn't my bike, this is someone who's brought it along to mine for me to have a look at, and he's dropped the forks up through the yokes there at the front. So again, sort of it balances the front and the rear out. It's got really good front forks on it, which is the same on all the GPX bikes. It's got rebound adjusters on the top, compression adjusters on the bottom, and these are really top quality forks. And again, springs are available very easily for the front forks as they are for the rear shock. You don't have to, you know, be looking around on the internet for hours and hours and hours to find this. You can go to pretty much, you know, any place, any spring dealer, any KTM dealer, for instance, and you can get springs to fit these, and along with seals as well. Got a 4 LED headlight, comes with indicators. That headlight is very bright, by the way. The front brake has got a rear brake switch on it. It's electric start, as I've already mentioned. It's got an LED dash, which will turn on. There we are. As you can see, this one has done 2 miles only. And over on the other side, I've got the headlight flash, high and low beam, kill switch, and the turn switch, as well as a horn at the bottom. Cable clutch, which is really light, really, really, really light. This is just a superb, simple bike for fun, green laning, long distance trial, hare and hounds, do what you want on it. The suspension is more than good enough for all of you guys out there, forget your White Powers and your Saxes and your KYBs. You don't need that. This suspension is as good as any of that. It just hasn't caught on because GPX is new to the UK. But in time, this suspension will get a very good name for itself. These scoops on here are obviously, they share, this is the same plastics as all this GPX range. But obviously, as this is an air-cooled model, there's nothing behind it. So you can put your sandwiches or your flask in there. Anyway, nice gripper seat with logo on the back, indicators, and this your LED lights on the back, and number plate light. Got a 46 tooth rear sprocket, 13 tooth front sprocket, and easy no tool access to the air filter. Just pop it off, pop there, it pulls off. So no tool access to the air filter. 6-speed gearbox with a steel gear lever. We've obviously got, you know, parts to this bike in stock, the sort of parts that you will need or you may need. O-ring chain fitted. What else have we got? Billet fuel cap. Twin pot caliper on the front with a disc cover. Again, alloy rims as well as alloy hubs and stainless steel spokes. But I hope this actually gives you a good little look around these bikes. I've spoken to the GPX boss out in the States, and he says that this is one of the most popular bikes in the GPX range. You just cannot get enough of them because you just don't have to worry about it. It's got a carburetor, it's air cooled, you can roll it down a bank, fall off it as many times as you like, and the thing is relatively lightweight. You just push the button, it'll fire back in. You don't have to worry about radiators busting, you don't have to worry about fuel injection. It's just a good old-fashioned simple bike, very much, you know, down the avenue of your XRs and your XLs back in the day, but a modern version of all of that with decent chassis, with an upright riding position, and also a decent suspension. So there we are, the GPX 250E, ready to roll at 4,950. Cheers guys, bye. One thing I forgot to do was actually start the engine up for you so you could actually hear it. So we've loaded it back onto the chap's truck, and I just remembered. So here we are, we're going to start it so you can listen to the engine. It's gorgeous. There we are. Give it a rev, will you? How about that for a beautiful sounding engine? Sounds gorgeous. Thank you for that.